Alright, so this was going to be a video on my tree stand setup. I've got the Lone Wolf, I believe it's the Assault Climber 2. It's the smaller one. It's not quite as large on the back here, and there's not quite as much foot room, but it is lighter, so that's why I went ahead and went with that one. And my feet aren't entirely huge either, so I don't have to really worry about my foot room too much. So but anyway, so I've made several modifications, as you can see, from just the basic. Here's the Lone Wolf right here, and that's it. So I'm just gonna kind of go through this setup here and show you how I put everything together, make sure everything's nice and tight, and how I get everything set up. Alright, so here's the tree stand here. So how I've got it all set up here is I've got a few different ways of keeping everything together. So we'll go ahead and start by unpacking the first thing. Now, what I have here is a simple, let me bring you over here. Let's see here. Alright, so all I've got here is a bungee cord, okay, and that holds my clothes on as well as keeps my backpack here tight to the tree stand there, and this holds this on here pretty good. So all I have to do is, now I like to have my whole setup all, clips, hooks, anything very simple, very quick to attach and detach anything. I don't like doing all these knots and messing with that stuff. Sorry about that, we're back. My battery died, so I had to recharge it here. So okay, so like I was saying, I have this bungee cord, and this is kind of a bungee strap. So that holds my clothes on and my backpack here. And so we'll go ahead, I'm trying to do this with one hand here. But, there we go. Alright, so I can take that off, and there is my hunting suit. Now, I've got the backpack here. Now this has got all my supplies in it, of course. Now what I did is up at the top here, there's a little hole here, and what I did is I just tied a knot on this side, looped it through here, and then tied it off over here. And so what that's allowing me to do is my backpack here is actually clipped onto the stand, and I will, if something came loose or something happened, nothing will detach from my tree stand. I will not lose anything of value off of my tree stand. So that's a real benefit there. So this clip here is permanently, I always keep it attached to this part of my backpack here. So I'm going to go ahead, all I have to do is unclip, pull it up, done. Now my backpack comes straight off of here, and that's off. So now what we have left here is the tree stand. And so here's your normal unpacking of the tree stand here. I just do a simple knot here, just like you're tying your shoes, just to keep these from flapping down and everything. So, and then unclip these guys here. Alright, so that's off. Now, what I did is, down here you can see they have a, typically they have a, it's a little plastic clip that goes on here. I went ahead and just cut that off, okay? Just used some pliers and kind of pried that thing off of there and cut it up. So what that allows me to do up here is my cable here is now will not move when I take these off. So, and as you can see, what I did is when I pack this thing is I actually take these guys these straps and pull them down underneath of this, and that keeps them out of the way when I'm walking through the woods, and keeps them from snagging on branches quite so much. As you can see, because it's tied in a knot right there, the length of this here will always remain the same. So and that'll be for both sides of it. So now I don't have to worry about what would happen is this thing would slide back and forth, and I'd have to connect these both of these bungee cords at the same time in order to keep it from being more tight on one side or the other. So and also because I like to tuck these down here, being able to pull these down, connect one, and then be able to pull up my other one, it just makes it a whole lot easier. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this second one off here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the second one off here. So now this is all done, and this guy can come off now. So there you have it. Now we got a full spread of everything comes off one by one by one. So the thing I really like about this system is the way that everything stacks. You take your biggest part here, okay, and then you come over here and you take your next biggest piece, and that'll go on top of that, and then the next biggest piece, which is my backpack here, will go there, and then the final piece will be my extra clothes that I have. Now what this setup is really great for is the fact that I kind of have a pyramid shape with everything. So as I'm stacking it, the largest piece in the back, and everything kind of comes together at a point at the end. So when I'm walking through the woods, again, I'm not going to have to worry about my suit here getting snagged on anything. It's going to be in the very center, and it's going to be out of the way of anything. If anything were to hit one of these, or the biggest piece here, then I'm almost guaranteed that this suit is not going to get snagged on anything either as I'm walking, because you walk straight, so I'm not walking in there backwards. So anyway, get back to this here. So take that off. So now we got our piece here. Now what I do in the stand, and I got this, a lot of these methods that you're seeing here, well, some of these are my own, and some of these I actually got from several people on YouTube, other people's setups. I like to research, find out what other people do, and kind of use some of those and maybe elaborate on those a little bit. So the one thing now with this, I'll say that I like to just take these cables when I'm at the stand, and so this will simulate being at the stand, and I'll just take these guys and I'll just push them right through there and let them hang. Again, this is a lot easier with two hands, but anyway, you get the picture. So alright, so now this next thing that I have, or this next thing that I do is I got this from Public Land Hunters. I also inherited this from, I think it's Marine, what is it, Marine R6ER, I believe. But anyway, so this is my bow holder, or my bow rope here. So let me go ahead, and what I did, I got this on a little bungee cord here, and like I said, I got this from Public Land Hunters. Let me go ahead and okay, so as you can see, all you have to do is unwind it like this. Okay, now one thing that I kept running into is, because I tried this method before, and it took me a while to implement this, because I had to figure out a way of stopping this, because what would happen is this rope likes to pull over and down. And once that happens, if this rope pulls over and down, you know, you got this whole thing that just flops on the ground, and that's it. So I had to put these stoppers here, and all I did was I took some electrical tape, because it was the right size and everything, and has some pretty good grip, and I put one here and one here, and I just kept looping it around until I made those stoppers. So that's the bow rope there. Okay, and go ahead and put this back on here. Okay, so that's done. And then, so after we get that, and our bow rope is off, and again, like I said, everything is systematically, we're all in a row. As soon as I get to my stand, first thing I do is I actually, as soon as I get this guy off of the bottom here, I take this guy and I throw it up on the stand, or up on the tree. I get that ready to go. Next thing I do, backpack has my safety harness inside of it, and it also has my tree tether. And both of those things I like having in here because they do have some metal buckles. They're quick, easy metal buckles that you just clip on real quick, and they like to cling around. So having it inside of here, it keeps all the noise from, you know, those buckles clinging around or anything. I actually am looking to replace this with a smaller pack, something, well, smaller, and maybe I won't put my strap in there. It's just a little, even though it is a pretty small backpack, it's kind of a little bulky for me, really. I really just need a real simple pack, you know, that I can just put my deer calls in and that sort of thing, and electronics, and really just a small kind of carry bag sort of setup, and then, you know, I'll figure something else out later down the line with the safety harness. But anyway, so we'll come back over here. I went ahead while I was off there, I went ahead and opened these up. So I'll connect all that to the tree. This piece will be connected to the tree, this will be connected to the tree. Then I'll go ahead and throw or I'm sorry, I already got out of sync here. So before I put my safety harness on, I'll typically throw this on first, and I'll have the harness over my suit here. Now, when I get up in the tree, so say we're all set up here, remember how I said that my clip here never leaves my backpack? Well, that's because when I come over here, what I did is I tied off little loop here. And what this loop is for is to simply clip in. Let's see if I can get it with one hand. Simply clip that in. Okay, so then this backpack will just kind of hang there off to my side, and I'll have this front part opened up a little bit, and I'll have all my deer calls right there ready to go. So I can just grab it, and anytime that a deer comes by or something, I just throw it back in the bag. So anyway, so that I believe is most of the setup. I'm going to go ahead and repack everything, and then I'll show you how it kind of carries here. Alright, one quick note I wanted to make before I completely got this packed up is the thing I love about having this clip here is what I do when I repack this is, because of this line here, I don't have to fiddle with all this metal and stuff, because this will clip around some of these metal pieces, but it's just a pain in the butt to unclip it and everything. The thing about this little line here is, let's get in here, is all I have to do, I don't even have to do that to put this on. All I have to do is just push down, and there it is. It's locked in. Then what I do, to make that tight up there is I just pull down on the backpack once. Suit got a little, I fold up my suit here. Alright. And let me go ahead and get this here. Okay, so we went ahead and got our bungee cord, and I like to pull this up a little bit just to kind of be on the top side of this here, but that keeps from the backpack swaying too much, and this swaying, it almost sways hardly at all. I like to have everything, as I said before, I really like everything being nice and tight on here. I want everything, you know, I don't want it moving around. I don't want to have, you know, before what I had is I would clip the backpack here, and without this bungee cord here, what would happen is the backpack would actually swing. You know, if I'm on a hillside, the backpack would hang this way, and then all that weight in the backpack will pull me that way down the hill, and it was just adding, you know, more resistance and, you know, more frustration with it. So this is the setup here. So you can kind of see that pyramid shape that I was talking about, or that shape where, you know, you have the smallest piece out here, and, you know, the widest piece, as I was saying, is what is attached to my back. So, you know, anything I walk through, anything I can get through, my pack can get through. On the front side here, you can see I've got this what is it, a Molly waist belt here that I attached to the tree stand, and this is my newest addition that I just added here. So I didn't buy the straps with it, because the thing is, as soon as you put this waist belt on, almost all the weight is on your waist there. Then these straps here, I actually had to tighten them so they were a little closer to me. But these straps here, all that pretty much does is keeps the top part of the stand from falling back. So, but yeah, all the weight will you know, basically be on your waist there. So this is probably one of the best things to have on any tree stand, especially if you're carrying that kind of load with a backpack and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, your tree stand obviously. But okay, so let me go and get this get me wearing this thing. Now I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this, but hopefully if I can duck down a little bit, but you can see, hopefully anyway. I got the waist belt on here, and the you know, the pack here, and like I said, all the weight is being distributed on my waist here. So my straps up here are actually the only pressure I'm feeling on these straps is it's pulling back just a hair, just a little bit, but the amount of pressure that's off of the top of my shoulders here is just so much less because of this waist belt that it makes all the difference. It makes this pack feel really light. It makes it feel lighter than I wouldn't say I don't feel that I'm not wearing it. I do feel that. However, when I'm walking through the woods, I feel a lot more comfortable. I feel like I have a lot more maneuverability than usual, and that's a big thing for me, and that's why I like having everything real tight against my person, and, you know, the only thing I have left, because everything is on my back, is my bow to carry. So that's all I have to do, other than having this on my back. I know a lot of people like to, you know, they'll throw one thing over one shoulder, and then, you know, another, you know, put the backpack on, something like that. I don't like to do that. Biggest reason is it really, to me, feels like it restricts my mobility, and, you know, that's something for me, for a comfort level, is it kind of takes the fun out of hunting when, you know, I'm constantly like struggling to maneuver through the woods. This makes it just so much easier to do, and not just the belt, but the way that the pack is all set up. Everything is nice and tight and secure. Alright, well, I think that's gonna be it for this video. I think we covered everything. So I hope you like the video. I hope it helps you out with you know, your tree stand setup. Enjoy!